What improved your quality of life so much you wish you did it sooner? A good mattress, followed by a good pillow. We went down the rabbit hole of mattress reviews on YouTube. Seriously, you can get lost out there for more hours than you think. But settling on our new one, we made the right choice. A good pillow was soon to follow, as once the rest of your body is comfortable, you know fast if your pillow is right. The combo of the two is great though. Actually listening, instead of waiting for your turn to speak, you understand so much more, and people have so many nice things to say about you when you just listen. Switched to a job where I have a consistent, balanced schedule. Has let me exercise again, socialize more and spend time on other hobbies. I stopped putting other people and their needs before my own well-being and sanity. Pouring from an empty pitcher is exhausting, and when I finally put myself first, I felt free. Getting glasses. I put it off for way too long and only got around to seeing an optometrist when I failed a vision test at the DMV as I was trying to get my driver's license renewed a while back. I really didn't appreciate how much my vision had deteriorated or how much I was straining to focus on things until I got them. It was like going from an old CRT TV from the 90s directly to a top-of-the-line UHD display. I must have spent about an hour just walking around outside and staring at shoot on that first day. I stopped caring about my job. I still go every day and I'm good at it, but I don't care anymore. Other things interest me now. 13 years of obsessing over work. What a waste. Cooking for myself, rather than relying on microwave meals. Eating better, healthier and cheaper at the same time. Reading. Luckily I did start reading early on, mostly in my early 20s. I'm 27 now. I've read so many books which have given me much more insight to the world and my own views, especially my place in the universe. I mostly read biology books, but enjoy any realm of evidence-based science and some fiction here and there. Even the entire Bible 2 years ago. If anyone reads this, read. It's wonderful to know our minds can see lines and dots on paper and be able to decipher it. Just that concept alone makes me want to read. Everybody here writes something amazing, but the first thing I thought of was my dishwasher. Finally getting a migraine preventative. I still get migraines, but not over half a month of being in pain. 3 times a month is better than 20 days. This will sound a bit dark, but it's ultimately not. Confronting my abusive parent. I'm 50 and I finally did it a few months ago. I no longer have a relationship with that parent, and doing it was very hard, very scary, and very rough. But as soon as I did it, I felt like an immense weight had been lifted from me. I had spent most of my adult life pretending to have a normal relationship with someone who physically and emotionally abused me throughout my childhood. It took years of therapy for me to even grasp how deeply that affected me or how much it cost me to keep it up. I just feel so free. I wish I had done this the second I was out the door of their house, but this will do. Hydrocortisone. I had an undiagnosed autoimmune disease where my adrenal glands don't make cortisol, and basically I was unable to catch my breath for months and my blood pressure was 0 and I'd get lightheaded from just standing. Took myself to the hospital where they shoot me up with hydrocortisone and I immediately felt normal. Hysterectomy. I spent most of 2 decades extremely sick and miserable. Best thing I ever did solely for my own self. I started thinking of cleaning as resetting an area. After I cook I have to reset the kitchen. The little shift in perspective made me a much more neat person. Saving up money. Once I had 6 months' expenses saved, the pressure goes down so much. I can make good decisions, instead of desperate ones. I don't get stressed about losing my job. I can schedule my bills every month without worrying about balances. A car repair bill doesn't faze me anymore like a wrench in the monthly cash flow. Life's just easier with money behind. Buying a lot of underwear and socks. Also, quitting drugs. Buying an electric toothbrush. Haven't gotten a new cavity since, and my dentist said I shrunk the start of one. Weightlifting. I wish I had started weightlifting so much earlier. I look better, feel better, and it's done wonders for my mental health. Cutting off a toxic friend. After having cut off said friend, I felt that I could finally breathe without the stress of setting them off or getting into fights with them. I don't regret my decision at all. LASIK. My life is 10 times better without glasses. The surgery itself scared the shoot out of me, but I am so glad I did it. Getting sober from alcohol. I was drinking so much my body hurt 24/7. I never get tired of not feeling like garbage. Consciously practicing empathy. It's crazy how much lighter you can feel when you're not center stage. I learned that most things have very little to do with me, and that's a huge burden off of my shoulders. Losing weight. Went from about 225 down to 165 over the course of 2020. Took the opportunity to work on myself, and I feel better than I have in years. It was hard work, but I've managed to keep off for the past year, so I'm hoping I can keep this going. Always assuming people are doing things for a good reason. It sounds stupid, but it helps. Someone cut you off in traffic? That's fine. They might be rushing to a hospital. Someone rushing around the store in a fit? They might be trying to rush to get supplies for their sick kids. Any day might be someone's best day or very worst day, so framing it this way avoid road rage and generally being an upset person. Cutting out toxic family, followed by friends and acquaintances. Life is too short to let people drain you. I'm always polite, but that doesn't mean you own my time or attention with your negativity. It's amazing how much happier I am decades later. Playing stupid. I was raised to, think that I had to have all the answers, all the time. When I started working, my reviews frequently mentioned time management as an area I needed to improve in, because I was so busy giving other people the answers they needed, sometimes to simple questions, that I neglected my own work. A senior coworker told me one day, "It's not your job to have all the answers. You only need to have the answers you need to get your work done. It's okay to play stupid. Don't do their work for them." Deleting Twitter. Mental health improved dramatically as a result. Also, taking vitamin D supplements, because I live in Canada. Hard to get any sunlight when the entire country is a frozen wasteland for half the year. A few things. I try to express gratitude as often as possible, to myself and others. Stretch 2 to 3 minutes before bed every night. Replace things like "I'm sorry I'm late" with "Thank you for waiting for me, for your patience." Create and hold firm boundaries with my loved ones and my work. Journal or do something else that makes me feel present in my body. Drink more water. And something silly. Whenever I get mad at someone for doing something like cutting me off in traffic, I aggressively yell stuff like "I hope you're having a good day and drive safely." So I still get that anger and frustration out while not harboring unnecessary ill will. I stopped giving family money. I was always broke. For the life of me, I couldn't figure out why. Until I sat down and broke down my spending. I was giving $300, $500 a month to family. Once I stopped, I was able to pay my bills easily and never overdrafted. Moving out of the country and leaving everyone and everything behind. It's been very quiet and peaceful, and I've never felt better. Working 4 days per week. A 32-hour work week. Seriously, we should all be doing it. Quality of life is 1,000 times better. Bidet and squatty potty. Pooping away from home makes me feel like a barbarian now though. Not my life, but my grandfather's. Literally 2 weeks ago, he began swelling in his legs and feet. He was very tired, out of breath, literally in the worst state I've ever seen him in. I begged him to go to the ER. He refused 3 times before he caved in and let me take him. After an echocardiogram and about 10 more tests, it was determined that he was in heart failure with his heart only pumping at 15% and heart rate at 30 BPM. A pacemaker and defibrillator were installed in his chest and he was put on a routine of LASIKs. He was discharged last Saturday, and it's like having the grandpa from my childhood back. Besides a sore shoulder from surgery, he is doing so great. He is going for walks again, sitting outside and feeding the squirrels and birds, spending time with my children and going for rides around the farm in his golf cart. I'm so thankful for the technology that will potentially give us a few more years together and seeing his quality of life improve in such a short amount of time. He is 77 years old, survived Vietnam, 2 gunshot wounds and 3 heart attacks. He said he would never have a pacemaker, said he wouldn't live dependent on technology. Now he wishes he would have had the surgery 10 years ago. Big shout out to Emery for saving my pop. Finally setting my pride aside and working up the courage to talk to my doctor about my symptoms of depression. Got put on a medication to try and have adjusted the dose. It's been like night and day. I never knew being miserable all the time wasn't normal. My relationships have improved as well, because I don't have crazy mood swings. Having my own place, ETA. Thank you for my first award. I'll toast to eat in my place with some wine while I paint. Have great night. Reddit, ETA2. Whoa! Almost 2K upvotes. My first few months here. Thank you all so much. Honestly, hanging out in the advice communities of Reddit, it brings me a bit of peace knowing that there are people out there that are going through the same things that I do. Meditation. The hardest thing you will ever do is sit still and have a quiet mind. Drinking seltzer water while drinking beer. Your brain thinks it's alcoholic, because it comes in a can and it's carbonated, so you'll pound those suckers right down between beers. Keeps you hydrated, and I've never had a hangover while doing this. Just save this thread. I have been struggling with depression for a while now, and this is possibly one of the lowest points in my life so far. But some of the stories and suggestions here have given me some hope. Thank you all. Electronic toothbrush. And if you really want to keep those chompers, flossing. Social media. Around November 2020, I deleted all social media. I did it temporarily at first, but liked it so much I just don't even think about it anymore at this point. I have felt much happier and feel like I am living more in the moment since. It's also great not knowing what anyone is up to, and I feel that I have to reach out to people more, and when catching up things are a total surprise, so it feels more genuine. Edited to add. Since it's been mentioned in a few comments, I don't view or use Reddit as any other social media, as I use it minimally and mostly for hobbies I'm interested in, and have never felt the drain I did from other platforms. So for the sake of the wording, I used all social media aside from Reddit.